Well, folks, you know what that sound means if you've been listening to us throughout the year. It's Cole Dutchendorf and Lucas Roth in the broadcasting booth. I'm Cole Dutchendorf. How you doing, Lucas?
I'm doing just fine, Cole. Another very beautiful day for sports.
Absolutely.
Loved being outside, but now we're inside the shed trying to bring you guys some playoff basketball, and I'm excited. So
absolutely.
I know the year gets kind of long sometimes. It's been kind of weird here too. But I think you have 8 practices and 7 games. So this will be the exciting time of year. Don't quit working hard. Keep getting better. Let's finish things. I know you haven't played a long time. You got a couple games in. Now City's got boom, boom, boom. You got 3 games in 2 days. You got next week maybe 3 more. So stay focused, stay after it. Let's finish the year strong. Go!
Imprint Shirts, your local clothing business, is your go-to business for all your clothing needs. Locally owned and operated, make sure to contact Imprint Shirts on their website at imprintshirts.com. The Citizen State Bank is a proud sponsor of Swather Sports. We have a dedicated staff to meet all of your deposit, mortgage, and other lending needs. And you can still find free checking without maintenance fees at your hometown bank. Come see us, member of FDIC. AGCO Corporation, the largest employer in Harvey County and a proud supporter of the Hesston Swathers. Our purpose, farmer-focused solutions to sustainably feed our world. Our vision, trusted partner for industry, leading smart farming solutions. El Cerrito, a place for you and your whole family. Come in today and enjoy a hot meal. Everything is fresh and fast, and we have something for everyone. So if you're craving some good Mexican food, swing by El Cerrito in Hesston, Kansas. Let Hendrickson Chiropractic keep you at the top of your game with locations in Hesston and Newton, serving you 6 days a week. We also offer sports physicals, massages, acupuncture, laser, and therapeutic modalities. We have been blessed to serve the community for 25 years and look forward to helping you achieve optimum wellness. Well, Lucas, we got the, I don't even think we mentioned it yet, but we have the Hesston Swathers taking on the Halstead Dragons in the first round of the men's SUBSTATE, the 1 versus the 8 seed.
I think that's exactly how it was last year, too.
Indeed.
It was. That was when we were brought the great poster dunk by Braden Schilling.
On round 2, I believe it was a 27-0 start to the game.
Yes, it was.
I was watching it at home. It was a crazy game the whole way. And Halstead actually got back into that game, but ended up losing big, I believe.
They did. They made a pretty significant run there to the end of the first half, but Swathers held them off. So,
well, for Halstead, I mean, they were the 8 seed in the SUBSTATE last year, 8 seed in the SUBSTATE this year. This has obviously not been the year that they wanted. They are yet to win a game this year, currently sitting at 0-20.
That's tough.
It's been a tough rebuild as they lost numerous key players from last year's team because of future aspirations of collegiate sports. So that has been a huge reason for some of their struggles this year. Their closest game this year was a 5-point loss to Leon Bluestem, but other than that, they have lost every other game by at least double digits, most of them by 20 or more. The teams have played 9 common opponents, of which Hesston is 9-1, playing Smoky Valley twice, and Halstead is 0-12, losing to Smoky Valley, Haven, and Hillsborough twice each. As we have said before, this is playoff basketball, and while this game appears to be very lopsided on paper, anything can happen.
And on the other side of the ball for the Swathers, they... You gotta give me a second. I gotta pull my notes up. I apologize.
Here we go.
The Swather boys come into this game as very heavy favorites, having that 17-1 record, ranked second in the state, trailing only Lakin, who recently lost. The Swathers before State might be able to slide in that #1 spot. Throughout the stretch of the season, SWAT has really found their identity in their defense and turning that defense into offense on the other end. They are one of the best, if not the best, defensive teams in 3A, and they're looking to prove that tonight against the Dragons. The SWATers rely heavily on junior point guard Casey Richardson to provide a hefty amount of scoring on offense, but when he isn't scoring, he's trying his best to set up countless other teammates and get them baskets as well. And as I said before, they are tremendously good defenders. Just to name a few, I mean, Braden Schilling and Ben Bollinger and Braden Esau are the ones that really stick out to me. Just incredible defenders. The only blemish on their record so far, or well, the blemish in their entire game, that is they really are not very good against the zone, especially offensively. The Dragons, they do run a zone, and their only loss of the year, which was to the Lions, they also ran a very good 2-3 zone, and the SWATers might end up playing them again. We don't quite know yet, but in reality, this essentially should be a tune-up game for the SWATers, as they've already beaten Halstead by 38 earlier in this year. So SWATers just looking to take care of business in round 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, okay, so schedule around the rest of the sub-state for the boys. The 4 and 5 is going to be southeast of Saline taking on Ellsworth. The 2 versus 7 is Lions and Kingman, and then the 3 versus 6 is Haven and Lindsberg. On the girls' side of things, the Hesston girls took care of business last night, beating the Ellsworth Bearcats by 30 points, 59-29. Meanwhile, the southeast of Saline Trojans, I believe it is, beat Kingman by 24. Haven pulled off the upset over Smoky, beating them by 9, and then Halstead won by 23 over Lions.
You know why? I do have a fun fact for you, Cole. Do you know why we couldn't get that score last night?
I actually heard about this. It was because there was a fire in the kitchen. And so when we were like, man, that can't be right, it was right.
It was right. It was 6-2 until about 8 o'clock last night was when they were able to resume play on the game. So
on Thursday in the shed, which if you don't know, if you're not familiar, is what we've nicknamed Hesston High School main gymnasium. We kind of just took it into our own hands there.
Rolls off the tongue.
Thursday it'll be Halstead versus Haven in that 1 versus 4, and it'll be southeast of Saline versus Hesston in that 1 versus 5, and Saline versus Hesston in that 2 versus 3.
Which game will be first? Because I feel like even
Halstead Haven is the first game, and Hesston is the second game.
Gotcha.
5 apparently starts at 5:30. I thought it was 5.
Good stuff.
And some results from around the state for girls. Hugoton took down Larned. Holcomb beat Hoisington. Cimarron beat Southwest Heights. Lakin actually lost to Scott Community. That was a 3 versus 6 upset right there.
Wow.
There was a couple more that stuck out to me. Bishop Ward was the 2 seed in their sub-state. Ended up actually losing to Wellsville.
Oh, wow. Wellsville upset the Eagles. Good stuff.
What else? Was there anything else crazy that happened? I think other than that, it was pretty much just 4 versus 5 that were some upsets. And then other than that, it was mainly the higher seed was winning.
Got that chalk bracket going.
So a couple games that were probably not foreseen, and a couple games that definitely were.
Yep.
And Halstead looking to become at least the second team this year in the state of Kansas to be the 8 seed, taking down the 1 seed. I don't remember where it was, but somewhere in 2A, a 1 seed lost last night to the 8 seed. So obviously that's a huge upset. I think we are going to now hand the rails over to the Hesston band for the national anthem.
2021 Class 3A Boys Sub-State Basketball Tournament. In our game tonight between the visiting Halstead Dragons and our Hesston Swathers. I'd like to remind you of the KSHS AA Sportsmanship Creed. Spectators should regard the playing of the game as an art and appreciate it and enjoy it as such. Respect for officials, respect for players, respect for boys and girls, respect for host facilities, and respect for themselves are essential for raising the standards of good sportsmanship. At this time, would you please stand while the Hesston High School Pep Band, under the direction of Lon Graverson, plays our national anthem.
As always, thank you to the Hesston Pep Band for their rendition of the national anthem. We'll be getting you your starting lineups. For Halstead, it'll be Elijah Gerber, number 5, 5'8" freshman. Connor Boyd, number 10, 6'3" junior. Jackson Swift, number 14, 6' junior. Dylan McDonald, number 25, 5'9" freshman. And Caden Hill, number 33, 5'8" senior.
And on the other side for the Swathers, like usual, it will be number 5, Braden Schilling, the 6'5" junior. Number 14, Kason Richardson, the 6'3" junior. Number 32, Jackson Humphreys, the 6'3" senior. Number 34, Nick Arnold, the 6'2" junior. And number 41, Ben Bollinger, the 6'4" senior. For the keys to the game, we will get you those in a quick second.
Well, for Halstead, obviously it's going to be an uphill battle for the night. So, as unrealistic as it sounds, is it realistic to say shoot 100% from the field? That feels like one of the keys to the game for Halstead. If they shoot it perfect,
I feel like it is a key to the game, but
it's tough to see a scenario in which they're going to pull this one off. I think they're gonna need to make Hesston rely on the outside shot and then also be efficient in the transition offense. One thing I will say, if they are able to put the Swathers in very large foul trouble very early, there is an outside shot that they're able to take the Swathers down. Very slim it may be.
Very slim. On the other side of the ball for the Swathers, it is bring intensity for all 32 minutes, regardless of the score. Attack that zone, really just a game that they can get to see the zone and try to figure out their offense and their identity against it, and then dictate what Halstead does on offense by playing your stringent defense. Stringent?
I think it's stingent.
Stingent.
But
there was an R there.
It kept on auto-correcting me to stringent, so maybe I was wrong. I don't really know.
Gotcha. The Dragons, the away team, will start with the ball in regular fashion, and it is Swift that will bring it up.
We didn't even mention the COVID guidelines tonight, Lucas.
Nope.
That's the first time maybe the whole year.
And we got a 5 count on the Dragons, and it is going the other way. Braden Schilling with the great defense already.
Yeah, and you kind of get the feeling that that's probably going to be happening frequently throughout the night. Not necessarily the 5-second call, but the turnover forcing of the Dragons.
It will be the Swathers against a 3-2 zone on the other end. Ball goes into Humphreys, and now it's with Arnold at the top. Richardson's in the corner. Oh, almost pulled it, but didn't. Now goes up top to Arnold. His three-pointer is up, and it is good. Rattles home for Nick Arnold.
Well, I mean, if this game goes anything like the first 2 possessions, it'll be a long one for Halstead. I mean, usually Hesston comes out kind of cold from the 3-point line. Obviously, they're always going to be playing that really good defense there, as you kind of saw there with Nick Arnold. But if they're making threes, it's going to be a long night.
For the Dragons now, it is Swift. He kicks it out to Boyd. Boyd gives it off to Gerber. Gerber to McDonald, and back to Swift. Swift working against Schilling. He's going to try a drive lane, and he will kick it out to Boyd. Boyd goes middle of the lane, layup no good, and the Swathers are going the other way.
And I believe Jackson Humphreys actually got a tip of that ball as well, so that was great defense there for the Swathers all around.
Arnold now, and it's back to the top. Dragons in a 3-2 zone. Thought about the lob to Schilling, but it wasn't there. And they had a cutting Nick Arnold backside, couldn't get it. The ball's corralled by Gerber, and he's going the other way. Might have gone with a little bit of travel. Swift pulls a 3. It is no good off the front rim, and the Swathers with the ball again.
And I think the reason you see Halstead in this 3-2 zone is that was something that Hesston struggled against. Wow, just straight shoving down there. Anyways, that was something that Hesston was struggling pretty heavily against Haven in that game. We saw they were attacking that 1-3-1 zone that Haven usually runs, but then Haven switched to that 3-2, and then they went cold from the field for a while, and then eventually got used to it. So if they play well enough early, I'm sure Haven will. Or I mean, too many H teams in the CKL, bro. Anyways,
yeah, switch out of it.
Yeah, switch out of it.
Right you are, Cole. It is now Arnold on the wing, and he gives it up to Schilling. The Humphreys. Swathers just taking what the defense gives him. It's going to be Richardson for 3. No good, but what a board by Ben Bollinger. Gets into Richardson, and he gets the layup to go. Bounced up and almost sat down on the rim, but he ended up getting it to fall.
Yeah, got that friendly roll. That one hung up there for what seemed like an eternity. More like maybe half a second or a second, but
it did feel like a very long time. You are right. It is now Swift on the far side. And it looks like they're going to try to run a set play. Schilling all up in his grill, trying to make things as hard as possible on him. And they're going to get a pushing foul on a little hand check on Braden Schilling there.
Yeah, good defense for a majority of that possession, just unable to keep his hands off for the entirety of it.
McDonald to inbound, and he gets it back into Swift. Swift gives it off to Boyd and almost throws it away, but it's corralled by Gerber. Looks like he's calling another play. Looks like it was the pick and roll, and now it will go, the pass by Hill goes over the head of Boyd, and it will be a turnover. Please do not make me spell honorific bus.
Nah, you don't have to worry about that. We might have to pull that out in this week at some point, though. Honorable. That's a pretty good word that we could pull out at some point. It's what it means. That's not the word.
Schilling gets it into Arnold. Arnold's layup no good, but the board fought over by 2 Dragons and falls out of bounds.
Yeah, there's a case of the same team right there. Little unfortunate bounce there because they both were in position for the rebound and just fought over it a little too much.
They got Schilling on the slip screen. His turnaround jumper, middle of the lane, good. Off the glass. Beautiful little turnaround there by Braden Schilling.
It's funny that his first shot is off the backboard because I heard him in the warm-up. He was saying backboard cheese every time he was shooting, trying to get it off the backboard. Oh, my.
On the other side, the three-quarters of the way down there for Eli Gerber, but ended up falling out, and now the Swathers are back on the offensive. And it will be Richardson calling out a play for them to run. And he throws it up to Schilling. Oh! First dunk, he went for it and just missed it. Oh, man, I thought he had it. It looked good. I might have just had a mini heart attack there because I thought he was going to throw it down.
It looked like he lost the grip of the ball a little bit at the very end. Otherwise, it would have been a mean
now it's
dunk.
steal by Arnold. He looked to throw it up to Schilling. It was a little bit too late, but Schilling still gets the wide open layup in the bucket for the Swathers. Could have looked up a little sooner, might have seen that 2-hand yam, but couldn't find him in time.
You know, it feels like deja vu, Lucas. 9-0 in first quarter.
What feels like deja vu? I get what you're saying. Straight from last year, if you were here with Ben and Lucas Roth, you saw that 27-0 lead by the Swathers midway through the second quarter. They just aren't getting anything to fall here. You saw that three-pointer by Eli Gerber. That ball was 3/4 of the way down, and it just hopped right out.
Yeah, obviously not the way that they wanted to start the game. But, I mean, you know, it was going to be a tough road either way. And there's still a lot of game left. So, change some things up, get some shots to fall, tighten up on defense. You never know.
Never know.
I've been doing it too.
Yeah. What we're talking about, there's if you see the booth cam sometimes, you see the banner and the pole and like the pole that it's attached to. We have a camera resting on the pole, so we're not allowed to kick it, but we've been doing it all season, and it's hard to stop.
If you don't know, I'm actually 6'6", so there's not a ton of room up here for me to stretch my legs out, and that's my excuse for it. But I gotta tighten.
I'm 5'10". I don't have an excuse. Oh, the Swathers in their 1-3-1 maybe, or full court.
It looked like a
full court zone press. And we're going to get a 10-second call, and it will be Swather basketball.
That's a call you don't see very often, even on the high school level.
And it seemed like a pretty quick 10, in my opinion.
It may have been.
That is okay. The Swathers now on offense. It looks like they've switched to a 2-3. Ball's kicked out to Schrader. His three-pointer just rattles out, and it will be Owen Farmer with the rebound.
Yeah, good shot opportunity for the Swathers. They're just unable to get that one to rattle. And okay.
And on the other end for the Dragons, Swift rubs off on Farmer there. Ball just rolls out of bounds.
Yeah, just a little miscommunication there, mishandling of the ball.
Looks like the Dragons are in a box and one maybe on Braden Schilling, and it will be Casey Richardson with the easy finger roll and push the lead up to 11.
Yeah, I don't know if I would necessarily recommend running the box and one, because usually Casey Richardson is going to be able to take advantage of whatever matchup he has on him, because it's obviously going to be just that one player.
Swathers, good recovery. It's Swift's three. Looks good. It is good. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Jackson Swift. I'm pretty sure his name was Jackson, but I had to look real quick. Now Swathers on the other end to get it to Richardson. His skip to Proctor. Into lane to Esau. Nobody stepped out on him. Instead, pumps fake, takes the basket, and one for Braden Esau. What a drive and what a basket.
Absolutely. Esau is very prolific around the rim. That's something that he's probably among the best on the point guard level in the state of Kansas, at least at the 3A level, is getting low in the blocks and being able to finish. I guess he's not really, he plays the 4 pretty often, so I don't know if I can call him a point guard.
Kind of a point guard, though, still.
He's like a point forward. Kind of. I don't really know. Sort of.
Something like that.
Anyways, he's very good at finishing close to the rim, as we saw there.
So he misses the and one free throw there. Free throws are another weakness of the Swathers, though they are few. There are some. And now on the other end, it will be McDonald, and he gives it off to Swift. Swift takes it to the rack. His layup is up and good. 2 straight baskets there for Jackson Swift.
That was a beautiful move, too, there by Swift. He really got around his defender, got up at the rim, and had a nice little finger roll finish.
It'll be Schilling now in the corner, and kind of just lost control of the ball there, but Schrader has it. He gives it to Proctor. He really thought about that 3. Instead, what a move into the lane for the basket. Splits 2 defenders on the jump stop and gets the shot to go.
And as we've said, and as I've said many times this year, Jake Proctor has a very smooth game, and we saw it there with the little jump stop, getting past 2 or 3 defenders and getting that floater layup finger rolled hybrid to go.
As you are right, he is the youngest player on the Swathers that sees significant playing time. Just a sophomore, but he plays like he is a senior. Very good basketball player, and has definitely developed a lot more throughout the season and has really stepped into his role, especially in the latter half. And we've seen a lot of it. And this is Richardson with the steal. He's going to try and throw it down. And he barely manages to. I think that still counts as a throw down. He didn't want to get undercut there,
He definitely threw it down. That was actually a pretty good defensive recovery by, I believe that was Owen Farmer. He's not the tallest player, but he's very athletic, and he got up pretty high to make Richardson kind of think about it a little bit there.
For sure, that could have been a really big yam had nobody stepped up in there, but good job by Farmer, risking the poster to get in there and try and stop Richardson. Now the ball will go into number 23, Spencer Johnson, and gives it back to Owen Farmer. He drives and kicks to Swift. Swift being guarded by Esau. Drives middle of the lane, his shot up, no good, and boarded by Richardson. He gives it out to Proctor. Proctor's going to drive to the lane. He loses the basketball. Turnaround jumper, nothing but net. And Swathers shooting lights out.
There's some composure we saw there. There was a little bit of an idiosyncratic play there we saw. And I see Lucas roll his eyes. That is going to be the word of the night.
And another steal by the Swathers with 6 seconds. And it goes up to Jake Proctor. He is fouled hard by Owen Farmer. And he will go to the line to shoot too. Sorry to interrupt you there, Cole.
But it was an idiosyncratic play there. The play before that, Proctor was looking for the layup and then lost it, but then got the ball back and then hit the little turnaround jumper. It was pretty cool play there we saw.
And what's the word idiosyncratic mean, Cole?
It means peculiar or individual, but more peculiar is what we're looking for.
That is, I would say that is peculiar. You are correct. So Proctor misses the first free throw and gets the second one to rattle home.
There's only 5 seconds left. I just realized they haven't started the clock, though.
And now they will start it, and they didn't stop it either. That is okay.
They've been caught lacking in 4K.
Sometimes it does happen. You get caught lacking.
I think you should probably just go 5 seconds from the baseline again.
Yeah, that would work.
Nope.
Oh.
3 minutes and 50 seconds.
Hey, you know what? I'm good. That's some extra basketball here. Oh, 35 seconds. And now we're down to 3.5. Good stuff.
Yeah, I think I just would have said 5 seconds, just take it at the baseline again, because that was probably more than 1.5 seconds.
But now the Swathers get a chance to get up in a little bit of a press there. And now there is 2 seconds, 1 second. Swift pulls up from half court. Oh, I thought it looked good from here for a solid half second. So very good quarter for the Swathers, and not so much of the first quarter you wanted for the Dragons on the other end.
Mid-America Youth Basketball is a proud sponsor of youth basketball across the Midwest. Make sure to contact MAYB on their website at MAYB.com. Golden Plains Credit Union is a full-service financial institution offering a wide variety of products and services to meet your financial needs. We proudly support the Swathers. GLC Real Estate Services Incorporated, your only hometown real estate agency, is a proud sponsor of the Hesston Swathers. Call Susan and her team whether you are buying or selling. 620-327-3100 or find us at www.glcrealestate.com.
Funny story about that one. Last night I forgot to mute my microphone when you were saying it, and you said the ad, and I was like, Susan. And then I got a text from both Susan and Landon saying, I love the fact that you said Susan when Cole was saying the ad. So that was awesome. So shout out Susan Swartz and Drew for that one. That was pretty cool.
Absolutely.
And now my microphone is muted during ads. So that's good stuff. The Swathers will start with the ball in the second quarter. Bollinger missed Humphreys on a back cut. He was wide open. Instead, he finds Bollinger on the back cut, but unable to make the layup, but saves the rebound into Richardson. What a play by Bollinger there to get that board. And now it's Arnold, wide open three. No good, but board by Jackson Humphreys. And his little turnaround hook shot, no good for the Tetris King of Hesston High.
Gotta get it in there at least once.
I forgot to say it during starting lineups. I was upset with myself. But if you didn't know, Jackson Humphreys, I believe he said either top 50 in the world in Tetris.
No shot. I do not believe that for a second.
He is top 2 in Japan.
Top 2 in Japan? How does that work?
It's either top 100 or top 50 in the world. He is, or in the U.S. He is.
Okay, I tend to believe US. I tend to believe U.S. a little more than in the world.
He is insanely good at Tetris. Have you watched him play?
No.
It is quite impressive. Thought about going to the World Tetris Championships, but.
And maybe he's been playing a little too much Tetris there. Had that turnover there.
I really look forward to if he hits a big time three, just yelling Tetris. And I don't know. I talked to him about it a lot. Me and Jackson. Really great friends, great guy. It's one of the things I love about being a commentator for your friends. You're going to talk about their character and some of the things that people don't see. As the Halstead Dragons with the ball, Jackson Swift pulls a three. It is no good, and Richardson the board. And he gives it up to Humphreys. He's going to drive all the way. His favorite little shot, that up and under on the baseline. Couldn't get it up because he got fouled.
Yeah, he's very, very good at that too. The drive baseline, trying to get and work himself back to the basket. We've seen that numerous times this season. Just got fouled a little preemptively on that one.
Humphreys now with a little pull-up jumper, middle of the lane. Can't get it to go. Really struggling getting anything to go. And we're going to jump ball on the rebound, and the arrow points to the Dragons.
Is that his third missed shot?
Third missed shot.
And that's on like 3 consecutive possessions too, I believe.
It has been a rough start for Jackson Humphreys, usually one of the Swathers' predominant shooters. And now the ball will go in to Gerber, but gives it up to Farmer, and stolen away by Casey Richardson. Richardson, what a pass to Brayton Schilling, and Schilling can't quite finish, but Richardson with the board, and he will go to the line to try and earn himself 2 points.
And what a pass it was. It's unfortunate that Schilling was unable to finish it, because that would have been an absolute dime there by Richardson. And it was either way.
One hand.
Yeah.
That was impressive, to say the least.
You could say it was a little idiosyncratic.
It was very idiosyncratic. You are correct. And to use another one of our words of the day, probably my favorite of all year, would be right now, the Halstead Dragons, their desideratum, which means just something they have to get done, is they have to get stops on the defensive end. The Swathers have absolutely...
Work right there. Over from the free throw line, that was a pretty good foul there.
Swathers have been, for lack of a better word, toasting them on the offensive end. They're getting all the shots they want, and as we get a jump ball on the other end that will go to the Swathers have been very active on the offensive end, getting pretty much anything they want to fall.
By the way, it's not the free throw lane, like I said. It's the free throw line. I said free throw lane. I don't know if you caught it. But
I didn't catch it.
Dang it, I keep on putting my feet on the railing.
I do. I keep kicking the banner. We're working to better ourselves each and every day. Ball goes up top to Arnold and short corner to Bollinger. Skips it to Ty Schrader. His three-pointer, no good, but Jackson Humphreys with the O board. And he kicks it up to Arnold. And Arnold, that swings down to Humphreys. Thought about the three, instead he drives baseline and tries to throw up top, but instead it is stolen by Boyd. He got hit on the arm mid-throw, kind of fumbled it a little.
Yeah, he's been a little discombobulated to start the game for the Swathers. Normally you're seeing him
very
on
locked
top.
in.
Yeah.
Which is, it's
been kind of a weird day. It's definitely been a weird day. Well, I guess not as weird for him because, I mean, at least for me, we got out of school at 11:40 or 11:20, and then other than tennis, I didn't have to be back here until 6:15 if it wouldn't have been for tennis.
Wow,
so that's a very strange day for him. I guess it's a little too.
What a play by Braden Esau. Almost got the and one.
I almost wish he didn't get fouled so that Schilling would have had a chance to get that put-back dunk.
He is grabbing some major rim this game. But I still don't think I've recovered from the almost reverse alley-oop dunk.
That would have been crazy.
I would have gone wild.
It would have been a lock for the hype video, I can say that.
Definitely, for sure. When's that hype video going to drop?
We haven't started on it yet.
Okay.
It's for like a post-season. Not like a postseason, but like a post-season, if that makes sense. Like an after season.
And after the season's over kind of thing. Looks like the Swathers are in their 1-3-1, maybe. Looks like they are. Going to get a little bit of work on that with their length that is on the court. And it is Esau with the takeaway. And it will be Richardson with splitting two defenders. And he makes the layup. And there will be a timeout called by the Dragons as the Swathers take a 19-point lead.
Yeah, and they haven't scored since Swift had those two consecutive possessions with a three-pointer and then the layup.
Oh. Yeah,
they've been on a pretty large scoring drought ever since then. They find themselves down 19 already with still 4 minutes and 50 seconds left in the second quarter.
Yeah, I kind of got to say I expected a little bit of this. I'm not going to lie. I'm really hoping for, not usually in a sub-state game can you really get the kids on the end of the bench in. So I'm hoping to see, I think the Swathers are too, because that's when you know a job well done. Some of those other kids getting a little bit of a chance to play.
Especially postseason basketball too, when you're less prone to give them the minutes.
Yeah, even more less prone than usual. You are correct. But I really want to see it. So the Swathers, looks like they'll be in full court man or 1-3-1.
And we're definitely on pace to see Micah and Max and Matt.
And Colton. Is Colton on the?
I don't think so.
No,
I think
Colton's
it's like 12.
not.
I'm assuming it's Dalston.
It's Micah, Matt Waltner,
and
Max
Warner.
And it will be Schrader with the ball. He kicks it up to Proctor, and the ball is tipped. Great recovery there by Spencer Johnson.
Yeah, for sure. That was good defense there in the transition offense. It looked like Proctor was going to get a breakaway layup, but who was it?
It was Spencer Johnson.
Yeah, that was great wherewithal to knock that ball out of bounds.
They have Ty Schrader in the lane on the cut. Now it's Jake Proctor. His three. It looks good. It is good. Splash from Jake Proctor. His 4th points of the night. 8th points of the night. Oh, my goodness. Our leading scorer, Jake Proctor, 8 points already.
Yeah, he specifically has been playing very well offensively in the last few games that we've seen. He's really coming to his own as a player
Oh, might have been a little bit.
Yeah, as a player, not only on the offensive end, on the defensive end as well.
Schilling gets a steal, and he's trying to go all the way. He gets fouled really hard there by Boyd, and he will go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Sorry to cut you off, Cole.
No, I mean, I was pretty much wrapping it up at that point. Because I saw, I was anticipating there might have been some excitement there on the fast break, so I just cut it off a little bit.
Couldn't quite get enough on that ball to deflect it far enough in front of him to get that dunk, but.
One thing Halstead does, they foul very hard.
They do. Schilling's free throw. An interesting way for that ball to go down. I didn't know if you caught it. Kind of got caught up in the net, like did a little hezzy before it fell.
The net got a little, I'm trying to think of a really good word, but nothing's really coming to mind. It got a little messed up on one of the times that Schilling was hanging on the rim. I believe it was the putback, not the putback after the foul. I think he got a little bit tangled up there.
Gotcha.
And that's why it kind of looks a little janky right now.
Swathers back in their 1-3-1. Looks like it'll just be a half-court trap. That ball almost stolen, but not quite. And now it goes into the corner to McDonald. And McDonald back up to Swift.
The whole goal of this 1-3-1 for the Swathers is to get some deflections and get some turnovers, speed up the opposing team.
Swift pulls the trigger on a 3. No good. Boarded by Richardson, and the Swathers are moving again. He's trying to go coast to coast, and he does with a finger roll, but doesn't get it to go. And now it goes up top to Humphreys. His three-pointer up. It is good! Tetris for Jackson Humphreys. Finally gets one to fall. Gets the piece he's been looking for. He has a basket.
I was kind of saying speed up the offense, and then we saw Swift take maybe what it was an ill-advised, and there's
dang it. A little bit jealous of that one there because Braden Schilling was going to go throw that one down.
Probably with some veracity.
Yeah, maybe a reverse dunk. Who knows? The possibilities were endless. It was only him. He was the only one past half court. He could have done some real damage as Proctor gets another deflection. What were you saying there before we thought Schilling had the chance to?
I have no clue. That feels like forever ago.
We're talking about Jackson Humphreys making a 3. Oh, speeding up the offense.
And we saw Swift kind of take an ill-advised 3, like in the mouth of one of the Swather defenders, and it did not fall either. So
looks like he is calling for a screen maybe, and that he was, and didn't really do much. It goes in the corner to Gerber, and now it swings all the way around back to Swift in the corner. He's going to drive baseline. Spin move, fadeaway shot is good.
Nice
gets it to roll home.
Swift. He was able to get a little step. He hit Schilling with a jab step, then drove baseline, then spun into the lane and got the nice layup to go.
Ball goes to Schilling in the corner. He kicks up top to Proctor. Proctor's three-pointer is good. Nothing but net from Jake Proctor. He's got 11.
It's going to be tough to beat these Swathers if they're going to be hitting like they are tonight. I mean, I don't know exactly what the percentages are, but they are converting very often on those three-pointers.
Yeah, it is. It has indeed come early and often for the Swathers here in the first half. Already up by 28 points as we see Braden Bruner, the senior, get his first action of the night, as well as Nick Arnold checking back in for the Swathers. Yeah.
Not a lot to add.
Not a lot to say there. I thought about saying something about Braden Bruner, but couldn't really think of anything at the moment. So another one of our fearless AV camera and worker.
Wow, that was a good board by Proctor.
Wow, he got up for that one.
It was, I believe it was Spencer Johnson.
Oh, couldn't get the layup to fall. Great move by Proctor. Tried to go coast to coast, just couldn't get it. It will be Swift now on the other end working against Arnold. He's going to dribble left, spin move, but ball is taken away by Bruner. What a play. And he's going the other way, looking for somebody. Might have gotten a little bit of a foul there, but he is all good. And it'll be Proctor now. Proctor skip past to Humphreys. Humphreys in the corner to Bruner. Bruner's three-point attempt, no good, but boarded by Nick Arnold. Now it goes into Braden Esau. His shot is good. Braden Esau, an early 6 for him.
As we've said, he's very prolific around the rim, and we've seen that twice tonight. That's the second time he's hit one of those kind of layups. First one was a foul. The other one was what we just saw there. Not a foul, obviously.
Swathers continue to be in this 1-3-1 as Jackson Swift is fouled, attempting the free throw.
Big shout out to janitor Chris over there in the corner. I don't know if we're going to get him on camera at any point tonight.
I agree. Big shout
But he
out to
stays
him.
putting in work for the school.
You are correct on that, Cole. A big shout out to all the other workers that help put SUBSTATE on.
The only negative about him is he's a Cowboys fan.
Oh, come on now. Even I can agree that Cowboys are just a failing organization.
I don't know about that. I just don't like them.
They aren't going to pay Dak, so who knows. Swathers now on the other end after Swift made 1 of 2. Ball goes to Bollinger. His weird layup. That is the first time I have ever seen a charge called where the guy fell towards the opposite goal. I'm just saying that's a very impressive charge that was taken there by the Dragons. That was very impressive.
No further comment from me on that one. It was the good defense there from the Dragons. It was a very idiosyncratic.
Yeah, you beat me to it. I was going to call it idiosyncratic as well. Couldn't think of the word, though. Great use of the word of the day as Swift drive towards the basket, and they're going to get a foul on Ben Bollinger there. Not too much contact, but just enough to draw the foul. Will be his second personal.
Maybe a idiosyncratic reach-in call there. I don't know, maybe. Couldn't really see anything from this angle.
Ball goes in, and what a play by Braden Bruner, showing that, what is it, 41-inch vertical.
No, it's less than that. I think it's 36.
36-inch vertical. I don't care what it is. It's an insane vertical.
Someone was telling him, he's like, Bruner, you got to throw him down tonight. He was like, I mean, I will if I can.
Can he
I'll
throw
try.
it down?
He has thrown it down on occasion. It's pretty touch and go.
Swather still on the defensive, and it will be Swift coming around the screen. He pulls up middle of the lane. It is good. 10 points for Jackson Swift. That halftime score update with Cole for the Dragons.
That was an impressive shot, too, because that was really good defense.
And now it is Bruner. His three-pointer looks good, just short. And a pogo by Arnold, and they have a foul on the shot, which will result in either a 1-and-1 or 2 shots. Depends on where they got it on.
Really?
Or maybe it was on Nick Arnold. I do not know.
I thought it looked pretty clean. I don't know what happened.
They have a foul. Let's see who it is on. And they waved the foul call off. So we will go into the half with the score: Swathers 27, Dragons. Swathers 37, Dragons 10. I was going to say Swathers are up by 27, but they kind of merged together a little bit for me there. So let's go down to Cole for our score update.
So Braden Esau with 6, Jake Proctor with 11, Braden Schilling with 6, Casey Murchison with 8, and Jackson Humphries with 3, and Nick Arnold with 3. And then for the Dragons, Jackson Swift with 10.
That was a quick score update for the Dragons.
Yes, indeed. It has been very one-dimensional offensively for the Dragons tonight. Their team as a whole hasn't really gotten many shots up other than Jackson Swift.
There have been a few others, but very few. And for the Swathers, their offense has been a lot of dimensional.
A lot of dimensional.
Very
indeed.
dimensional.
Indubitably.
Indubitably.
Speaking of which, you want to just get the word of the day done right now?
Lukey's word of the day.
Here we got it. Oh, no.
Nope.
All right.
Ah,
That's good enough. Not yet. Idiosyncratic, meaning peculiar. This is a tough one.
Okay. Idiosyncratic. IDIOSYNKRATIC.
You were so close, Lucas.
No!
It's a C, it's not a K.
No! I was so close.
That's tough. That's tough. I really thought you had it. You got past the hard part, and I was like, oh, he's in the home stretch. He's got this for sure. And then I heard the K. I was like,
gosh,
oh.
the K just looks, because in Craddock, it just doesn't seem like it'd be a C.
Yeah, that's one of those moments right there. I don't know.
Illuminati confirmed.
Anyways,
That is
I have to
tough.
talk to our teacher because I have no idea what she was trying to tell me earlier.
So I will fill the space with words. One of my favorite things to do. Pretty great half by the Swathers. As for the Dragons, there was a great half for Jackson Swift. He had 10 points, and for the rest of the Dragons, my apologies for saying Trojans, it was not the greatest of halves, as given up 37 points. Swathers on pace for a cool 74. So hopefully we'll get to see some more diversity from the Swathers in the second half, maybe from the Dragons as well. So we'll get to that here in just over 7.5 minutes. And Cole is still talking, so it's still just me. But, you know, I'm having a good time. And for the Swathers, their leading scorer, Jake Proctor, I really love the work that he's been doing, especially on the offensive end of the basketball court.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Been sinking some shots, and
We got to give a shout out to our band members.
oh
Shout out to
my, yes,
Isaiah.
sir.
Epp. He always goes in.
Ham.
He always goes
Oh, man.
in on that saxophone solo in that song.
It
Sorry,
is.
you definitely heard me get a little rowdy there, but it was definitely necessary.
Oh yeah, we definitely heard the oh yeah. It was good. So you'd love to see it, but are we going to break?
Yes.
All right, we will go to break. So we will be back here in probably 3-4 minutes.
Yeah.
And for the second half has been Cole Dutchendorf and Lucas Roth. Some first half action, catching a few for the second half.
Thank you to all of these local businesses for sponsoring the Swather Sports Network. The Swather Sports Network appreciates the support and proudly recommends any of these fine businesses.
A big thanks to Swather Power Club for supporting all Hesston High School activities and athletics. Did you know that Swather Power Club is the one and only Hesston High School booster club, and anyone who signs up to be a member automatically enters the student of their choice to win one of 2 $1,000 college scholarships? Right now, you can join SPC for free. Look for the Swather Power Club on the Hesston High School website menu or visit them on Facebook. All of us at the Swather Sports Network would like to say thank you to the Hesston Community Foundation. Their generous grant is helping us bring this action to you right now, and without their support, we would not have been able to bring in almost 24 kids into the AV program. So make sure to thank and support the Hesston Community Foundation, a proud supporter of the Hesston community. Plaza Truck Wash, providing an excellent car and truck wash experience to Hesston and the surrounding communities for over 30 years. Your continuous support allows us to endow local causes and organizations like the Swather Sports Network. Go Swathers! Let Hesston Prestige Printing help you with all of your printing needs. Invitations, mailings, business cards, banners, yard signs, license plates, coasters, and more. Shop local for paper and office supplies too. Pine Edge Golf Course, located near Gossel, is a beautiful golf course designed for family entertainment and is open from sun up to sundown 365 days a year. Sharpen your wedge at Pine Edge Go Golf. Pizza Hut, proudly serving Hesston students and their families. Call Hesston Pizza Hut and ask about the great special where you can purchase any large pizza and get a medium pizza or any of our delicious desserts for free. Call 620-327-2253. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Nobody.
Hey, Swather fans. Thanks for choosing the Hesston Pharmacy. When you support your locally owned and operated pharmacy, you make it possible for us to pass it on to Hesston kids with ads like this. Thank you, and go Swathers. Sheesh. That was a lot to get through.
I was going to say go Swathers indeed, but I can't say that, so tough scene.
I mean, you already said it.
I already said go Swathers indeed. Good stuff. So we're back after halftime. Good halftime. The band played straight bangers and only bangers.
I'm still waiting for my taquitos.
From where?
From the front office.
Taquitos slap.
Absolutely.
Are they some of Troy's taquitos?
They do happen to be.
That's good stuff.
Absolutely.
So, second half starters for both teams for the Swathers. It will be just like they started the game with Humphreys, Bollinger, Richardson, Arnold, and Schilling. And for the Dragons, it will be the same way they started the game as well with Gerber, Boyd, Swift, McDonald, and Hill.
Baylor beat West Virginia by 5 in overtime. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That was a really close game.
Could have been a national championship preview there.
Nah, bro. KU versus K-State all the way.
Oh, yeah. Because K-State's going to win the Big 12 tournament.
Yep.
They're going to defeat 3 top 10 teams, and, yeah, good stuff.
Absolutely.
So it will now the ball will be back up with the Halstead's leading and only scorer, Jackson Swift, as he crosses up Braden Schilling. But Braden Schilling gets the block, and Bollinger with the board kicks it up to Arnold. Arnold into the lane, lot of contact, and he gets the and one.
Wow.
Nuh-uh.
Very impressive finish there from Arnold. A ton of contact, as you said, and he was able to somehow flip that ball into the hoop. Did not really see that one coming.
That was some impressive stuff there, Cole. I did not think that ball was going to fall, but somehow he laid it up off the center of the backboard, hit front rim, back rim, and got it to fall. Arnold's free throw is good, completes the old-fashioned three-point play, and will make it running clock for the rest of the game, if I'm correct, right?
Only in the fourth quarter.
Only fourth quarter. And we're going to kick ball by Schilling. He possibly could have broken away for another dunk.
Second time that's happened tonight. A kick ball leading to a would-be dunk.
I don't like that rule anymore. Get rid of kick balls.
Get rid of kick balls. I don't know if that's how that works.
Sign my petition.
Yeah, because petitions do so much. Just ask Saints fans.
Oh, you didn't have to do them like that. Eli Gerber on the other end. His three-pointer is no good. And it was bad out of bounds. It will be Swather ball. Sorry, I did not eat supper. I was eating a Rolo, and the caramel just didn't go well with trying to talk. Richardson in the corner. His three-pointer, no good. Left it a little short. But an incredible board by Braden Schilling, who refuses to let go of the basketball.
He got bear hugged by Elijah Gerber in the tie-up there. Pretty funny moment we saw.
It was good stuff. They got to see it too. So it will be the Swathers ball as Richardson inbounds it up top to Arnold. Arnold gives it to Schilling. Schilling to Richardson. And Richardson kicks out to Schilling. Schilling goes corner to Jackson Humphreys. Thought he probably could have pulled the three there, but decided against it. And Swathers will just pass it around the horn. And now Casey Richardson directing traffic a little bit. Gets it to Schilling on the wing and into Arnold. Arnold goes backside to Humphreys. Humphreys setting up for the three. He knocks it down. Nothing but net for Jackson Humphreys as he has now made 2 consecutive threes for himself. Not like consecutive, but
Yeah, I feel what you're saying.
2 for 2 from downtown on the game. And it will be Schilling with the, Richardson with the steal. Tried to throw it to Schilling. Wasn't there.
He was walking that tightrope and knew he was going to step out of bounds, so he had to get rid of the ball and just made a little bit of an errant pass because Schilling wasn't really ready for it at all.
Right, you are, Cole.
But it was going to be a turnover either way, so you might as well get a turnover trying to lead to something.
And now it's Arnold going the other way, trying to go coast to coast. He's probably going to get he gets a block. So he'll go to the line to shoot 2 free throws. Didn't know which way the call was going to go there because he was moving so quickly. You just don't know whether or not they were going to deem that out of control.
It would have been crazy if he would have been able to find, I believe it was Jackson Humphreys trailing. He would have probably been on a highlight reel with some kind of crazy pass because he was trailing behind him and he wasn't looking. Didn't know if it was going to happen, and it didn't, obviously. As we can see, Arnold shooting the free throws and not Humphreys with more points on the board.
Was a tough block taken there by the Dragons. Arnold was moving very fast. Will still not be as impressive as the statistic they did a sports science last year. Taking a charge from Zion Williamson is the equivalent to getting hit by a Jeep.
That's not a charge I want to be taking.
No, not at all. I do not want to take that charge. On the other end now, it is Eli Gerber, and he gives it up to Swift. Looking for something. He drives and kicks to Gerber. His three-pointer is good. Good shot there by Gerber on the kick from Swift.
Freshman getting on the board. You love to see it.
By that Swift kick. There, boom. Look at that. I incorporated both words.
I would say, actually, I don't know if I can say that,
Humphreys.
actually.
Yeah.
Never mind.
His coveted move on that up and under the backboard there for the layup is no good, but he's fouled.
The one upside to the Halstead team is that they're fairly young, I believe. They only have 1 senior on the roster in Caden Hill. So,
fairly quiet night.
A couple more years together, and you never know how good this team can really grow and mature together.
We were definitely saying that about this Swather team 2 years ago when Arnold, Schilling, and Richardson were freshmen and Humphreys and Bullinger were sophomores, when they very much didn't really excel their first year. Oh, they definitely got away with one there. The ref is smiling at that one. Gerber threw the ball in with 1 foot inbounds, 1 foot out of bounds. I saw the ref smile and shake his head at it, but no reason to call it when they're...
If it was a close game, we probably would have, but it's 33 points with 5 minutes.
Yeah, there's really...
Yeah. Still should have been called, but it doesn't really... It's not going to affect the score outcome of the game.
Yeah, the Swathers, they're... 2 years ago, they were not the greatest team. Still pretty good. Had a couple of wins, but they definitely tell they were young and that the future was definitely bright for them, and indeed it was.
Plus, they were plagued by injuries.
They were indeed. You are correct.
What? Oh, I think they forgot the clock again. He said to take 10 seconds off the clock, and then they'll resume
Oh, I thought
play.
he said take 10 off the court, and I was like, what? What did I miss? Like, is there a double tag?
Free my mans.
free my mans. He didn't do anything. The system's corrupted. So it will be Halstead basketball. So he took a few seconds off the clock, and now the clock does get started, and it will be McDonald. He's going right. And gives it up to Swift. Swift with a good look in there to Spencer Johnson, but ball was deflected and couldn't quite get it in.
You know, as someone who's ran the clock for the games
It's not
on multiple
easy.
occasions, things like that can definitely happen. I mean, you don't not even necessarily not paying attention, but you just look up and you're like, oh, crikey, they're playing basketball right now.
And as Eli Gerber, I can indeed say I have the same feeling. Not just last week, I had to run clock at an MAYB basketball game for my little brother, and I forgot to start it when the game started. So literally the easiest one you could possibly have.
That is unfortunate.
I just sat there at 20 minutes for about 20 seconds before I heard them yelling at me. I was too engrossed in the game.
You're in your whole little
I
world.
was. And Swather still on the offense as Schrader drives and dishes. What a dish to Proctor, but they're going to call it a jump ball. They say the ball was clasped between two players. Clasped, good word.
It's a fun word to say, too.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of syllables in there and a pretty short word, clasp. Not syllables, consonants.
Yeah. I'll say it's just clasped is one syllable. Clasped.
And that's the point I'm making.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Good hands by Ben Bollinger. And they're going to jump ball. Schrader was trying to go the other way with it.
He's running.
Couldn't do it.
That was funny.
Well, this third quarter has, I don't want to say drug on, but it has lasted a little longer than the other ones, in my opinion.
Yeah, it has
but
felt like a pretty long quarter. I mean, we're only 4 minutes in, and it's felt like a lot more than 4 minutes has passed.
So we're just having too much fun up here. We can't believe that time isn't moving quickly. Richardson gives it to Proctor. Back to Richardson, Schilling in the corner. Just going to pass it around, work the zone a little bit. The alley-oop. Oh, he thought he had it. It was so clean. Beautiful throw, the grab, and Schilling just missed it.
I think just kind of like earlier, he lost the grip of it again. Oh, nice move there.
Swiftly moves into the lane and draws the foul on Schilling and will go to the line to shoot two. You were saying, Cole?
Yeah, it just kind of looked like he lost control of the ball, like just similar to earlier. Otherwise, probably would have been another monster throwdown.
That is tough. I think he just barely missed it because I saw the play going, like I saw it happen and I was like, this looks familiar. Then I saw Jake turn to throw it, and I was like, oh, yep, there it is.
What a pass it was,
It was
from
right
Proctor.
on the money. Just couldn't quite finish it. Hopefully we'll get one by the end of the night. And this first free throw is no good from Swift, but the second one is a make indeed. And so the Swathers will have possession now. And we're going to get a timeout by Coach Nope. Clock did not start again. 'Tis a tough scene at the scorers table. But that is okay. We have grace, and the game is 33 points, so it's just good it's happening in this one. So that's all I have to say about that. And so Schrader gives it up top to Proctor. Almost lost it. And looking for someone to go. Goes back to Schrader. He was wide open. The pump fake, he's going to drive and dish to one of three Swathers. But good hands there by Spencer Johnson. Yeah.
But was able to get his hands in on the ball before the chokehold was applied. And it wasn't a chokehold. I mean, I'm definitely exaggerating a lot there.
A little bit. That's okay. Yeah, for anybody that's just not watching, just listening, it wasn't that big of a chokehold. But so it will be the Dragon basketball. And it is Gerber, and he gives it up to Swift. Swift backs in Braden Schilling. He's going to go up for the layup, and they're probably going to get a foul on Kason Richardson, I believe, as his arm crossed Swift's, and it is indeed on him.
That would have been a nice little jelly if he was able to get that one to go.
Jelly.
Would have been a tough one, but a nice one.
Swift cannot convert, brings his free throw total to 2 for 5 on the day. Ball is boarded by Braden Esau as Swift cannot convert on that one either. And it will be Swather ball.
You see Halstead back in that 3-2 zone. They weren't in it for very much time earlier. It'll be interesting to see how much time they'll be in it. now in the second half.
Proctor contemplated the three but didn't take it. Now Richardson goes cross court to Bruner. Bruner gives to Schillian. Schillian up top to Proctor. His three-pointer, no good, left it short. But what a board by Braden Bruner. The pogo just couldn't quite go. No go on the pogo.
And that's something that travel there from Gerber. That's something that the great Roger Trimble was a devout believer in.
Oh my.
The pogo. Getting the ball and while you're still in the air, taking a shot before you come back down so that there's no chance that you lose the ball. I mean, Bruner and I, we were, believe it or not, we were C-team bench mates back in the day. Bruner's come a long way. I am in the broadcasting booth, so you kind of see how our careers differed.
I was, yeah.
And you were there too.
I sat right next to you guys, so.
Two
really
very similar careers, and one out there playing right now, and two broadcasting.
And honestly, I feel like I made the right decision there. I'm a lot happier here than I probably would be there. So it's a good time for all of us. So C-team basketball was the stuff, though. That was good. That was a good time. Sir Roger Trimble. We have to bring him up almost every boys basketball game, though.
He's just too good of a coach and too good of a guy in general to not just at least tell one or two stories about him.
And his cardinal sins or his keys to winning basketball games.
Nice move from Swift. He's had a few of those tonight. He just spins into the lane. He's really proficient at doing that. I mean, it's most likely not going to matter in the grand scheme of things, but he has played very well for the Dragons here tonight.
He has indeed, and it will be Swathers just working the zone here now. Passing it around, looking for an opportunity to do something. Richardson cuts, and now it goes to the corner to Bruner. What a pass into Schrader. Schrader gets the and one to go. They're going to give him the continuation there, and he gets the and one for his, is that his first points of the night? Yep, his first points of the night. Arnold will now enter the game for the Swathers.
That was a strong move by Schrader on the and one. I didn't think he was going to get the layup to go, but he was able to stick through the contact and got the ball up and through the hoop.
There really haven't been very many points to the Swathers games that have been disappointing, but their free throw shooting has not been up to par this game. Just something that if they want to make a deep tourney run, they will indeed have to fix, as Swift ends up throwing that ball away.
Yeah, that was good defense there from Bruner and Schrader. They both pressured Swift very hard, and they were able to really force him to make a mistake there in that situation.
Did we have Braden cubed on the floor at one point tonight? I don't know if we did.
It's a possibility.
Speaking of one of the Bradens, Bruner with the shot and Esau with the board and the dump down to Schrader and the bucket. Good pass there by Jake Proctor. Good job by Esau not giving up on the play and going after that ball.
I hope Coach Raleigh checks Schilling in at some point before the
other two Bradens. Yeah. I think that's so cool. Swift trying to do it all, and he ends up throwing up a layup that almost goes in. Couldn't get it to go, and now the Swathers going the other direction. They have 10 seconds. Now 7, down to 5. Bruner, he's going to drive, spin move. He's going to pull up, no good, and that ball's going to be knocked out of bounds by Arnold.
There was a ton of contact there, too.
And Humphreys will check into the game for Bruner in these last 0.8 seconds of the quarter. Gerber throws it into Swift. He heaves it. Looked a little like it could be online from here. We did have one against Haven that Jackson made from 3/4 court. Was a very impressive shot, so you never know.
Rolling Wheels is your local, hometown, pre-owned car dealer. Call or text us at 620-869-9982. The Lincoln Perk is a proud sponsor of Swather Sports Network. Lincoln Perk has been serving the community for many years with the best coffee and atmosphere around. We encourage you to shop local and stop by to try their delicious food and drinks. Dan Cycle is proud to support those who work hard and play hard, including their customers and the athletes, cheer teams, and pep bands in Swather Country and Central Kansas. See them for all of your power sports, lawn, and turf needs. Central National Bank is a proud supporter of Hesston High School academics and athletics. Come see us at 711 East Lincoln or visit our website at centralnational.com. Member of FDIC in your hometown bank since 1884.
Thank you, as always, Cole, for the ads that we are getting. For the fourth quarter, it will start and remain running clock for the whole time. Currently for the Swathers is still the starters out on the floor. For the Dragons, it will be Farmer, Swift, Hill, Gerber, and Johnson. As Swift is looking for someone to give it to, gives it up to Gerber, and Gerber's pass goes out of bounds off the hands of Farmer.
Yeah, some of that inexperience of the Dragons has shown tonight and throughout the season. Just, I mean, only that one senior, as we said. So not a ton of experience playing varsity level basketball. I'm sure this team will be back here next year and definitely be very improved from this season to last, or from this season to the next, I mean.
For sure. Watch out for the oop again. Oh, Braden Schilling went for it. They didn't find him there. Might have had a chance to get it, but couldn't quite. And so the Swathers just continue to move the ball around. They get it into to Bollinger, and he is fouled. So that puts the Swathers one foul away from the bonus, as Boyd re-enters the game for the Dragons. Schilling with the ball, he gives it to Arnold, and Arnold hits Schilling on the slip, but slips off of Schilling's hands, ironically, and will be Dragon basketball.
Maybe the ball doesn't have enough tackiness on it. We've seen Schilling lose the handle of it a couple. Oh, nice. Oh!
Behind the back.
Oh.
And then it's ended up just getting swatted by Braden Schilling.
That's so tough.
Tough end to a great move there by Jackson Swift, as Schilling will pull up baseline and left it short. And we're going to get a foul on, let's see here, on Gerber. And so Arnold will go to the line. He should have won a one. It will be Gerber's fourth foul.
That was so tough to see.
Yeah.
Swift had a behind the back and then crossed over into the lane and then was stuffed by Schilling at the rim.
That is tough.
Unfortuitous.
You are correct, Cole. As Arnold sinks his first free throw. As Micah Dalston goes to check in at the scores table, as does Max Werner and Matt Waltner, but Nick Arnold misses the free throw, so they will remain there for a little bit longer. You hate to see that. Now on the other end, it is Boyd with the basketball, and he gives it off to McDonald. McDonald drives right, and the ball's knocked out of bounds by Schrader. Good sign for the Swathers, as Micah Dalston, number 33, Max Werner, number 3, and Braden Esau, number 1, check into the game. I thought Matt Waltner checked in with them, but
I think he got up and sat back down.
oh yeah, I see him by Flamer or Coach Fleming there. So it'll be Hill now. He gives it to Farmer, guarded by Micah Dalston. Dalston playing some good defense there. Now it's off to Boyd, being guarded by Werner. Now it's back up top to Jackson Swift. Swift now, couple of nifty moves, kicks it out to Farmer. Farmer has it poked away by Schrader, but corrals it and gives it to McDonald. McDonald's three-pointer, no good, but the board by Hill and the bucket. Oh, they just got a technical foul on Micah Dalston. That is,
What are they calling him?
they called a technical foul on Micah Dalston.
For what?
They said that he put number 10 in a chokehold. I feel bad for Micah because that is tough, and Coach Raleigh is telling the official about it right now. Micah Dalston, one of the best kids I know, would never do anything to be unsportsmanlike to anybody else. So that's a tough call for him. Student section giving him an ovation, hyping him up a little bit, because that's tough to see. You really do hate to see something like that happen. Wrong place, wrong time.
I'm definitely going to have to watch the replay back on that because I didn't see it.
He had his whole arm wrapped around the head of Farmer, but he had boxed Farmer out, and Farmer tried to go under him to get to the basketball, And so he was literally just caught in Micah's arm. And so Micah released as Farmer, as the official looked at him, and then the rest is history.
Yeah, I didn't see it,
I don't think it was worthy of drawing a technical foul. Maybe a personal foul, but definitely,
well, if it was all incidental.
It was definitely incidental, and you could tell by the look on Micah's face as Farmer gets dropped on the other end by Jake Proctor. Schrader's corner three, no good, but boarded by Proctor, and a strong board at that. Now the ball is with Schrader on the edge, and now it's Dalston. He gives it back to Proctor. Dalston, he pulls the trigger.
Hey!
Bang! Micah Dalston for three. You love to see it right after the technical foul. The student section is hype.
Micah said,
is hype. We're hype.
Micah said, it was at that moment when I took it personal.
I took it personal. Swift on the other end, a missed three. And man, I am happy for Micah Dalston.
Give him the ball.
He gets it again. Court baseline jumper.
Oh.
No good. Couldn't get it to go. But boarded by Schrader, and he is fouled as he goes up. Wow, everybody in that gym was willing that ball to go in as soon as Micah Dalston shot it.
That was a deep one, too. No hesitation or anything.
He grabbed it and shot it, and I'll make sure to talk to him about it tomorrow in Corral, but you really do love to see it. His first of hopefully many playoff points for Micah Dalston, as Matt Waltner enters the game for Jake Proctor, the junior, getting some action as well. Swathers, a warm ovation for Schrader.
Oh yeah, okay. Watching the replay back, that was that was so incidental. It's not. Oh, it's kind of laughable, honestly.
Yeah, he just gets caught up on Farmer. So.
Yeah.
Bruner also gets into the game for the Swathers, just over a minute and a half remaining, as Farmer and Hill were taken out for the Dragons. So it will now be Jackson Swift with the ball, calls for the screen from Johnson, and gets it, and he drives. His baseline jumper, no good, and blocked, and it will be Esau with the board. He's going the other way.
What a pass.
Takes it to Dalston, and Dalston gives it out to Werner. Werner's going to drive. Kick to Waltner. Great ball movement here by the Swathers. Esau kicks to Dalston. Dalston's three. Bang! Bang! The student section's in a state of euphoria, and so am I. Micah Dalston. 2 3-pointers for the man. He definitely did take that technical personal. And another block on Jackson Swift on the other end, and now it's Bruner that's going up. Bruner gives it to Esau. Esau gives it to Dalston.
Feed that man.
Heat check, please, please. I just want a heat check. And now it's Waltner up top. He gives it to Dalston in the corner. Dalston gives it to Esau. Esau, and he is fouled. And so he'll go to the line to shoot a 1-and-1, which will most likely end the game. Man, Cole, Micah Dalston, he might work his way into the
MVP.
Oh,
you heard the student section chanting it.
And you felt so bad for the kid because you get that accidental technical foul. And I have gotten a technical foul before accidentally. I can indeed say that I have, and it is no fun. And then for him to respond like that just shows great poise and character from the
Swift
sophomore
with a little
as Jackson
there.
Swift hits a three.
Meaningless, but it was a very nice little move and shot.
It was indeed.
For what it's worth.
It was. So the Swathers take the first game of SUBSTATE 60-22 here in the shed. So now that the band's playing, we will go down to Cole for a quick final score update.
What a spread out even game of basketball it was all night for the Swathers. Brayton Esau with 6, Ty Schrader with 4, Jake Proctor with 11. He was actually the leading scorer for the Swathers tonight. Braden Schilling with 6, Casey Murchison with 8, Jackson Humphreys with 8, Micah Dawson with 6, and Nick Arnold with 9. And then for the Dragons, Elijah Gerber with 3, Jackson Swift with 17, and Caden Hill with 2.
So not as much of spread out scoring, but the Swathers, what a game offensively. They really did, like you said, And like I said at halftime, very dimensional offense, because we talked about the Dragons' offense being sort of one-dimensional, a lot of it flowing through Jackson Swift. But for the Swathers, the complete opposite, nothing but sharing the ball all around, which you really love to see.
I'm trying to find some score updates. Okay, Haven has essentially won their, that game is over. I mean, it's not over in the record books yet, but they are beating Smoky Valley by 21 in the fourth quarter. So they will be moving on to the second round. I was unable to get a score update of the Southeast of Saline game and also the Lions game. Lions.
So any final thoughts, Cole?
Not really. I mean, pretty straightforward victory for the Swathers here tonight. I think we're going to cut our post-game wrap up a little short because there's not a ton to add unless you have something to add.
I don't really have much, so it has been a great time, unless you're good. Player of the game we didn't do, so.
Micah Dalston. That's my player of the game.
He hasn't won one all year. Go Micah. Love to see it, so. Yeah, I'm good with that because the Swathers really couldn't pick one. Just a great all-around team effort throughout the night.
If there was any night of the year that there was no MVP, it was probably this one. It was so evenly spread out among all of them. So all that being said, I think we're going to sign off for the evening. We'll be back with you on Thursday for a couple of girls' games. What's the schedule? 5:30 will be Halstead taking on Haven, and 8 o'clock will be Southeast of Saline taking on Hesston.
And you'll get to hear the singers sing the national anthem on Thursday.
And indeed, you'll get to hear some new announcers in the booth for at least the first game. And until then, we will see you. It's been Cole Dutchendorf and Lucas Roth signing off for now.
We'll catch you guys on Thursday. Have a great one day without us. It'll probably be a sad day for you, but we'll catch you then.